what it's all about in GeoGuessr. Often it's just one very little clue that you need, and we jump into Consus versus Leero, a game that was already ongoing. And we are in round 3 of the moving game here.
So quite in the beginning, and Leero is actually in the lead against Consus. Let's see if he can.
So this round shouldn't change anything on the standings. They are both around Jerusalem. It was just on the other side.
Israel always a lot of information, just because the roads are numbered and they're ordered. So always very good to find them.
Indeed, a lot of information you get in Israel, usually on moving games. And we are in the US or Canada again.
I don't want to call anything out.
Yeah, not yet.
I thought it was US, but
plates, looking out for poles.
And for flags, of course, especially in the US.
Of course, yes. Or mailboxes.
I don't know if I trust those anymore.
Yeah, I don't know.
At least wouldn't be my first clue.
Nope. Not the best clue to use, but still.
Yeah, it seems like nobody has really found anything. Both of them kind of just looking around.
I mean, if it is the US, then it should be close to Canada. We have 207, that's the main area code. And we have Consus in Maine.
Yeah, he knew directly. He had like only a few seconds to think there and very quick on his feet.
Yeah,
that's going to be 4k damage.
Yeah, we definitely had that vibe of being somewhere around that region, but Consus did spot the 207 area code.
Yeah, very good find last second.
Yeah, and especially good to know because Maine is just the northeasternmost state in the US, so you are pretty far from everything else, and that gave him a big lead here.
It says Louisiana, but
no,
we are in
Denmark.
There's a town called Louisiana, apparently. Never heard of it.
No, it could point towards the actual Louisiana.
I mean, is the actual Louisiana 3 kilometers away? I kind of doubt it.
We don't know. Maybe
there's like some numbers has found something.
Yeah, it looks like a very committed guess there. Again, pretty far northeast.
I was about to say, is that enough? But I am not Pala, so I'll, keep my distance with calls like that.
Yeah. Keeping it safe. We are in Poland here, I would say, especially with that yellow gift signpost.
Yeah.
We have language. We have an address.
Yeah, phone code's also very helpful in Poland.
Yeah.
So maybe if Consus spots one, he will make a guess based off that.
Yeah, I mean, they both had the same sign. Seems like Leero is trying to make use of that by putting down his guess fairly north in the country.
Yeah, I wonder if he saw it. I didn't see anything particularly on his screen, but...
Yeah, there's a disagreement from Consus going just Lodge, and it turns out to be on the label of Poland.
Yeah, Leero thinking that the architecture was maybe more German or very old German architecture. So maybe like a port city like Gdansk. But it was just in the middle.
Yeah, and Leero didn't move a single bit here, just looked around, sent it down in Kenya. He knows he's behind on health. He knows he has to make a play here to
Can you have good information?
Into the game, but Consus got to a sign.
And he used it though. I didn't see anything that was helpful on it.
Yeah. Leero still alive, ramping up those multipliers, which he needs. And he's behind on health.
Especially because Consus is very consistent in moving. It could go to the round limit again if Leero keeps up.
Definitely. From now on, Consus only has to get fairly close and just survive to get the win here. We are in Kyrgyzstan. Very interesting landscape.
Yeah, usually those players always almost instantly know where they are in Kyrgyzstan just because of how limited the coverage is. But this doesn't seem very straightforward. So Consus lining up the road here.
Yeah, he is considering us being in Naryn. I don't know if the lineup
Ooh,
works.
that looks
He
like a
found
good lineup.
span that is a good lineup. You also see the road curving further down.
Yeah, I really like the guess.
Yeah, I like it.
And if Leero doesn't move closer to it, he might lose here.
Yeah,
that looks like enough.
Yeah, with 4.5
And he goes more north.
If you are on the 5k, that's just enough.
This game.
I didn't want to call it out too early. We just talked about it.
Is that game? It is. And Consus takes the 1-0 in the moving. Not very surprisingly, I think. Consus always very consistent in moving. You know, not quite Blinky level, but I think in terms of consistency, he's definitely up there. And definitely a force to reckon with.
Definitely. Considering the fact Consus is more of a no-move player. Like, he improved a lot on his moving game over the past 1 or 2 years.
But no moving this time. We are in a no-move game.
We are stuck on this, what we call pano. You only can look around. But we pick up this pole. We see it. It is a Brazilian pole with the ladders.
We have these ninja stars. I thought they were some type of clue, but I do not remember if they were regional.
Yeah, they are in multiple regions, I think. It's not in a way where you can say they are like only south or only north in the country, but they're clustered around. You can get them here and there. And if you really know the states where you find them, you can rule out a lot.
Combine
it with the landscape.
Fairly far apart from each other. Now Consus is moving up a bit.
Yeah.
Both of them going coastal.
Being round 1. Yeah, it was indeed just right next to the coast in Sergipe. Leero closer there. That's a good amount of points considering it was round 1.
Consus can definitely be happy that this was round 1.
Yep, definitely. And
round 2,
we are in another rural location, just somewhere in a forest. Trying to make out those plates.
I'm not quite sure.
Which is weird to me, because my first thought was somewhere in Asia, but in Asia you usually have short plates unless you're in Malaysia or Indonesia with this landscape. But then again, the plates aren't black, so it shouldn't be
my first thought was
Indonesia.
Philippines, but I thought the plates would be shorter there.
Yeah, they look pretty long for Philippines standards.
I think it kind of has to be Philippines.
Yeah.
Just because Thailand definitely only has short ones.
Yeah, and also those trees don't really...
Consus no guess down yet. Leero in Philippines. Where's Consus going?
You can see that especially with the white
He's going Philippines, and they go Luzon both. He's almost moving over to Thailand
he was
there.
covering the map. Yeah. But turns out to have a very good region guess in Philippines.
Yeah, both of them in Luzon there. And we have an insta guess. Did he read something? I didn't see anything.
Not sure.
Really.
We have some of these.
A lot of tuk-tuks.
Yeah, we are in Peru. Solana guess, and it was actually there.
We have 5k by Consus.
Wow.
Adding it up real quick.
Yeah, line up the grid and got close enough to 5k that location. Leero just in the next city though. Not too much happening.
No, why not 5k it if you know the city anyway?
Exactly. Could be a deciding point. You never know.
Never know, but where in Japan are we?
Japan, yeah, they are looking at the plates. I personally would need a pole top here to make a guess.
I mean, base of the roofs, I would go
see one.
Hiroshima or something, but I'm not convinced yet. One of the poles almost struck me as Kyushu, but I couldn't see enough. Those one with the extender.
That one, yeah, it could be in Kyushu. At least you see it more in the southern half of Japan.
Yeah.
To confirm it's Kyushu, you need another attachment to that.
I have a Hiroshima guess, so...
And it was indeed Kyushu, but very far north. Which will allow Consus to pick up 1.9k. because he is still pretty close to Kyushu there. And it seems like we are in Argentina here. We have the double yellow lines. Concrete pole, we got that red and white chevron, which you also see in Argentina from time to time.
Yep.
Yeah, very interesting landscape.
Fairly hard to say where you are. It kind of looks like Uruguay, so maybe you go somewhat close to it.
Yeah, we have a very flat landscape, which would put you more in the east of the country.
And tree plantations, which are also more common in the east, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely getting more barren towards the west. Yeah, I really like the guess from Consus, somewhere between Entre Rios province and Buenos Aires province.
Both of them basically on each other now.
Again, pretty similar guesses, but he is on point there. Only 24 kilometers on a location like this is
not
very
sure
impressive.
how he did it, but I mean, do I really want to question Consus's thought process? No.
It's just Consus being Consus. But yeah, to be fair, Leero isn't too far off all the time, but Consus is just picking up those extra points on every round.
Yeah, that has to be said.
Giving
Decent guess by Leero in the other round. I mean, getting 150 kilometers on that, not too bad, but
yeah,
can't really compare against a guess like that.
No, really hard to keep up with that, and they are both in Saba here. Again, similar guesses. Let's see where it is. And this time Leero is on point. That's good damage.
1K
That's good
points.
damage. 1K. Consus was pretty much only on the other side of the city there. But yeah, Leero was on point, and we are also on some high multipliers now. 4 times damage in round 7. Seems to be Spain. We have this antenna dashed lines. It's a pretty green mountainous landscape, which you will find more in the north of the country. But
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is north or not.
Sure, because yeah, you can definitely also get a couple
Usually,
high altitude locations like this somewhere east of the country or even south.
Yeah, usually a big mountain like this would indicate that we're somewhere in the north, but it is very like rolling landscape of hills, not really like steep mountains.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, both of them going a bit more east. I kind of like that with the very piney forest.
Yeah, we could just be in a national forest or something here. A national park, I should say. And that's just north of Madrid.
Yeah, sometimes it's just the capital. Leero going down to 900 points there, and he only has, I think, 3 rounds left to, win this game and stay in it, because if he loses this, it's going to be a 2-0 for Consus, and game is over.
Definitely, and Consus got a quick plonk down, didn't send his guess through yet though. But again, it has been like this through the whole game pretty much, where they are both in the similar area of the country. But Consus just ends up being a bit closer here, a bit closer there. And there's not much room to turn this around for Leero here.
Especially because Consus is closer again,
yeah,
which takes him down to only 500 points. Now he really needs the luck of the rounds as well, because if he gets rounds like that both players know, he will not have a chance. But this one looks fairly hard.
Definitely. My first thought was Mexico here. I'm not quite sure though.
We have the black water tank, which is a more of a Mexican thing, but you can definitely see it in Ecuador or maybe even Colombia.
Yeah, they share a lot of similar clues, like these wooden fences, the water tanks, corn fields are clues that we have here, but you can see it in both countries definitely. But I would say Mexico is just way more likely, especially with that pickup truck as well.
Now both of them scanning a similar area in Nayarit, which is kind of the area you go when there's nothing really making sense in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's a very weird place, I realize.
I guess you can sometimes make a guess based on that, where you think, okay, this doesn't really have a strong clue, so I'm guessing where you don't usually get strong clues. And Leero actually staying alive here, striking back.
See what
And
round 10 has in store for
are
us.
in the final round.
Ooh, this definitely looks like it's winnable, but
yeah, it's Indonesia.
Consus in Indonesia.
Yeah. With those
Really not-
roofs, you should rule out Java. Also with these palms, some
Because
things
of
you
the
consider.
fence, which is more of a Sula thing, if you have,
Yeah.
or Sulawesi, I should say.
Yeah, you see it in Sulawesi, you see it in the Nusas and the islands.
And the blue roof, usually a Kalimantan clue, so that's where Leero is. East Kalimantan could make sense. Maybe they also share the same fences there.
Yeah, and that's probably also why they are still looking around, looking for more clues, because they don't really know, is it Sulawesi, is it Kalimantan? Because you have some clues for Sulawesi, some clues for Kalimantan here.
And Consus going very risky in Sulawesi, not even in the middle, he just goes very far east.
Yeah, with 5.5 X damage.
He's thinking about Maluku, but he will stay, and it
Was
will be
indeed
Sula.
Sulawesi.
And he didn't need the round limit after all, winning
Nope.
fair and square. Consus 2-0ing Leero.